week after Thanksgiving, because since this happened, so many students really fled the town to take an early Thanksgiving holiday break as the authorities tried to solve what happened here.
Shanley, thank you so much for all of the updates. I know that you're going to continue to bring us all the latest from there as we continue to cover this horrible crime and hope for some breaks in this case for law enforcement. I'd like to welcome now my guest, still with us this hour, former DOJ senior attorney and former federal prosecutor Tammy Allison. Also joining us now in Los Angeles, appellate attorney, trial attorney Matthew Barhoma. And I'm going to admit to both of you, this is one that really almost just makes me want to throw up. I've traveled through rural Idaho and Iowa looking at colleges. I've got 3 kids who are older teenagers, and no crime makes sense, but to have a crime like this that is so gruesome and horrible, the killer not caught, really idyllic. If you look at these universities and the settings and the communities, it's where you think it's going to be a safe place to go to school, absent some, accident. So let me start with you, Matthew, and your immediate thoughts, given what we do know at this time about the crimes.
Yeah. Judge, this one's hard. This one's really hard to swallow, right? It's difficult. It's right before the Thanksgiving holiday, right? No one wants to go off into that abyss, but there is a silver lining. Thank God that the authorities are finding that this is a targeted event. One of the first things that came to mind when I read about this story is I'm sure these kids are worried that someone's on the loose and maybe this is not a targeted event. And I hope that it is specifically a targeted event, not for these victims, obviously not, but for at least the campus as a whole, right? And so I really hope that prosecutors, or investigators really find the individuals behind this and bring them to justice, because this is senseless.
It is senseless. Now, I'm glad, Tammy, to see that law enforcement is there. It's a crime scene, because guess what that means? They are doing their job, investigating, following the evidence to try to find out who did this. But did you notice what Shanley shared about 2 people in the house not injured? What do you think about this?
This is a hard one for any parent, because, I'm a mother of an 8-year-old son, and to think about, a senseless murder like this, and then how gruesome the crime scene has been described with the blood seeping through the window there. So I think it's very interesting that there were people that were there that were not injured. And I think that the investigators probably know a lot more than they are releasing to the public right now. It's 2023. There's cameras, ring cameras, and these are college kids. They didn't just stand and wait for one person to get stabbed after the other. There is going to be video footage, I'm almost certain, that will surface that will answer some of these questions.
Absolutely great point, because I know as all of us watch this, sometimes we get frustrated by, we don't know more. Why don't we know more? The community's on edge. We need information. I'm sure the family feels like we deserve every bit of information as you know it. But the reality, let's talk about our criminal justice system and the success of an investigation, which doesn't conclude really until there's a conviction of the person who committed the crime. So Matthew, how important is it that we understand perhaps details can't be released?
Yeah, the fact that the investigators are already putting out information, asking for more detail, tells me that maybe they don't suspect the individuals inside the house already. But something that you should know is that investigators are smart. Actually, our sophisticated level of investigation, scientific evidence is good. If these individuals are out there, I'd be worried, okay? They're gonna find you, all right? Given today's ability to put together evidence, DNA, footprints, some security camera around the scene. This is a college campus, right? There is something going on. Someone knows something, and it's out there, and it's going to come to light. I seldomly believe it. I've seen it happen all the time. But more importantly, the prosecution's case starts right here, okay? Good evidence, good investigative work. That's how you bring individuals like this to justice.
Right. Now, Tammy, I noticed you were nodding along as Matthew was saying they're smart, and then as he was saying, this is where the prosecution starts. Weigh in.
Yes, they are absolutely smart, and being quiet is the best thing to do, to be smart, because they're 8 steps ahead. whoever did this, if it's one person or more than one, they are getting comfortable. Like, okay, they don't know anything, but no, they're watching and they're gonna find you. And these people are not going to give up, because these are 4 very young men and women that were murdered in a very gruesome way.
All right, absolutely agree. You're both going to stay with us. Up next, the trial of George Wagner continues. Who murdered this Ohio family? 8 family members. The newest developments are up ahead. Here on Court TV, your front row seat to justice.
Tonight, on Closing Arguments, the murders of 4 college students leaves a community searching for answers.
There was no burglary. There was no robbery.
Court TV teams are on the ground with the very latest in this investigation. And the mysterious death of Georgia mom Debbie Collier has been ruled a suicide, leaving many questions still unanswered. We'll bring in our experts to take a closer look.
Closing Arguments with Vinnie Politan, tonight at 8/7 Central, only